2025 has been a wild year for life on the road. We found ourselves in places that felt more like another planet, and others that, well, let's just say they weren't exactly the dream. To find the absolute best off-grid gems, you have to be willing to take some risks. Our fifth wheel is actually in the shop for some warranty work right now. Classic RV life, right? So, I'm ranking 5 notable places we boondocked this year, going from ones we will never go back to, all the way down to the number one spot I honestly did not want to leave. I could live there forever. It was stunning. Stick around for number 1 because it's a spot right outside a national park that you usually have to spend $400 a night. But we stayed there for free. I'm also sharing a couple honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list, but were absolutely worth a visit if you're in the area. Coming in at number 5, we have Grayland, Washington. Now on paper, this place is a total 10. You are literally steps away from the Pacific Ocean. It's picturesque. It's easy to find. Starlink worked perfectly, and it's incredibly convenient. But it's also a bit of a one-night stand. And I mean that literally. There's a one-night stay limit, which is honestly fine because by 5 a.m. you'll be ready to leave anyway. See, Grayland has this unique luxury feature where you're parked right next to the shoulder of the highway. So instead of waking up to the sound of seagulls, you get a 5 a.m. vibration massage courtesy of the local logging trucks. If you ever wanted to know what it feels like to sleep inside a giant paint shaker, this is a spot for you. Look, if you're chasing the coast and need a quick, beautiful place to crash, it's worth a stop. Just don't come here looking for peace and quiet. Get your beach photos, let the log truck shake the dust off your rig, and keep moving. Number 4 brings us to Utah Lake. BLM in Provo. Now, this is a prime example of expectation versus reality. If you look at the drone footage, it looks like a private paradise. The sunsets over the water, 10 out of 10. Watching the storm patterns roll over the mountain, absolutely chef's kiss.
We're hiding from the rain.
But let's talk about the reality of lakefront living. First off, the water is strictly look but don't touch, so no swimming allowed. And apparently the local bugs didn't get the memo that we were trying to relax. Since it's so close to Provo, you're never truly off-grid. You've got plenty of local day-use company, so if you're looking for solitude, you might want to keep driving. But the real kicker? The wind. When that Utah breeze picks up on a dry day, you've better have your windows bolted shut. Otherwise, you're going to be eating a locally sourced, beautiful orange Utah dirt for dinner. Seriously, it gets in your hair, in your bed, in your toaster, everywhere. It's a solid number 4 for accessibility and views, but just don't forget to latch your windows and bring that bug spray. Number 3 takes us deep into the heart of the Olympic Peninsula. We're talking Tree of Life territory, as it's just a small hike away from the coast. It is moody, it's magical, and it's basically a forested fantasy land. I spent my days wandering around looking for mushrooms and half expecting a wood elf to ask me for directions. But to get to this mossy utopia, you have to navigate a fire road in a fifth wheel. And let me tell you, that experience is a heart attack and a half. It's the ultimate test of your driving skills and your marriage. One wrong move and you aren't just camping, you're becoming a permanent part of the landscape. Because cell reception was non-existent and our Starlink struggled between the gaps in the lush forest trees. Proceed with caution is an understatement. Turning around isn't just a maneuver, it's a treacherous life event. Once the rig was parked and the adrenaline settled, it was worth every gray hair. It was exactly what I wanted from Washington. Mossy, moody, magical memories, and only a minor amount of structural stress. If you've got the nerves for it and don't mind the spotty connection, it's a bucket list win. And here's a couple honorable mentions we just had to shine a light on. We're heading to the desert for those classic Joshua Tree vibes, with no light pollution at night. It was like a slice of summer while the rest of the country was busy digging their snow boots out of the closet. But a word to the wise: the desert is a moody teenager. Free access to the national park? Amazing. No grocery or dump station nearby? Not so amazing. Now a quick shout out to Summerland, Canada. We did have to pay for this spot, but it was worth every penny. This place was a total dream. We're talking 90-degree days, lakeside lounging, and fruit orchards everywhere. The locals were so nice, I actually started to get suspicious. It's the perfect spot to pretend you're a professional fruit taster for a few days. And then there's Lake Louise in Banff. The only thing we had a problem with was absolutely no boondocking. But it is hands down the most beautiful place you will ever struggle to find a legal place to park. Finding a spot here is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, if the haystack was protected by a mountain lion and required a permit. But we are the pro-freedom, never pay to stay kind of people. But for Banff, you need a reservation. We're actually advising you to plan ahead, and you know that's serious coming from us. And we have Montana. Fish Creek, BLM land to be exact. Montana. They call it the last best place. And after staying at Fish Creek in Alberton, I'm officially a believer. This was our Goldilocks spot. Everything was just right. The air was crisp, the water was gin clear, and for the first time all year, I couldn't hear a single engine. No log trucks, no highway, no generators. Honest to goodness, silence. It was actually so quiet that I developed a bit of a creek-induced paranoia. The river was so close to our rig that every time I went to the kitchen for a midnight snack, I'd freeze and think, oh no, the pipes finally burst. But nope, that's just nature being loud and beautiful right outside the window. We spent our days wandering around like we were in a National Geographic documentary. We found frogs, moths, giant birds, and babbling brooks at every turn. We had exactly one neighbor and a pristine river. This is the why behind everything we do. This is why we boondock. If you're looking for a private resort without the resort price tag or crowds, Montana is calling your name. Here it is, the crown jewel of every single place we parked our home, Virgin, Utah. We parked right on the edge of a mesa with a front row seat to Zion's peaks. Now, let's be real. It's hot, it's dusty, and your solar panels are gonna be working harder than a barista on a Monday morning. But waking up to that red rock glow, it's so beautiful. Nothing else comes close. We actually stayed so long, we actually left our spot to dump and resupply. It was the easiest chore day ever. Everything we needed was right down the road. And a quick PSA for all my fellow nomads out there, Utah just might be the best place to find water for your rig. It's everywhere. And this gave us opportunity to camp in a different spot, right next to a creek nestled under a lush canopy. Between the red rocks, the epic mesa, and having Zion National Park as your literal backyard, this wasn't just a camping spot. It was a rocky wonderland. If you only visit one place from our list, please make it this one. Just bring a duster. You're gonna need it. Even with the rig in the shop, we know where 2026 will take us, so make sure you subscribe to find out where we camp for free next.